How important are colours in logo design or brand design? The answer is they are insanely important, often equally as important as the logo symbol itself, or sometimes even more so. Now why is that, and how can you land on the right colour for your logo designs? We're going to explore this question and a lot more in today's video. Now pretty much everybody has heard of colour psychology and the rules attached to that psychology. But do these colour rules really mean anything in business and branding? Well, yes they do, but it can get quite confusing. Let's start with a simple rundown of the main colours for logo designs and how they can be received by people from a psychological point of view. Orange is an invigorating, playful colour, and it's one that will make your logo stand out from the crowd, and it's often used to represent a positive change or action and energy. Red is the universal sign for excitement, passion, but also anger. Now like orange, it will stand out from the crowd, but it can be seen as a negative kind of connotation in some cases. It's a colour to be used cautiously. And don't worry, we're going to look at things in greater detail later in the video. This is just a quick rundown of the colours. If you want to interject a thoughtful, cheerful, and energetic emotion into your brand or your logo, yellow might be the way to go. And again, this colour is very loud. Green is very straightforward because it represents nature, growth, health, and it can be used in almost any sector of business. Blue symbolises trustworthiness and maturity. Now you should be using blue if your brand wants to be taken seriously. It's also a colour that can be quite calming. Now purple is feminine, but it also expresses luxury and is often the colour linked back to royalty. So in short, it's a pretty sophisticated and feminine colour. In Western society, nothing says girly like pink does, but it is a lot more versatile than that, and now if pink is a more vibrant neon version of its colour, then this can represent energy and a more modern emotion. Browns will often make your logo appear rugged, masculine, and also serious in nature, but browns are rarely seen in logo design. Black can be slick, and it's a modern and luxurious colour to use on the logo, and it's often used for high-end brands. So that's all well and good, but how can you determine the right colour for your logo, and should you even follow these conventions? Well, firstly, you should return to the data and the research that you have on your client's brand. Generating keywords linked to your brand is essential to the colour that you choose. Understand the brand and also the typical customer of that brand, and then you can target them with the right colours. Let's look at a famous example, and that would be Cadbury, the chocolate company. A recent study showed that 78% of people who heard about Cadbury on Facebook were in fact female. Knowing this tiny bit of information is so powerful, because what colour does Cadbury predominantly use in their branding? If we step back to the colour psychology, colour theory, purple represents luxury, sophistication, and even royalty. But crucially, it's a very feminine colour. So the branding of Cadbury would appeal more to females, which is great considering what percentage of people who engage with the brand are female. But it goes even further than that. In the minds of the consumer, the use of purple elevates the concept of Cadbury as a brand to heights of sophistication, class, and even royalty. Cadbury didn't just randomly choose purple. It was of course a very well thought out and targeted choice. And this is how you should approach your design projects, by targeting people with relevant choices. Many designers understand that, say, pink is feminine or that green is healthy, but without doing the research into the typical customer and the brand, they will fail to properly apply the right colour choices to the logo. Just remember that research is king. But then the question arises, should you stick to just one colour? Now me personally as a logo designer, I rarely use more than 1 or 2 colours on a logo. If you are a beginner, then yes, it is always safe and an easy bet to stick to just 1 or maybe 2 colours. But then what about Google or even Microsoft? They have many colours in their logos. Yes, these logos for the most part do work. However, the designer who uses many colours should know exactly what they're doing. Going with one colour is great for brand recognition and strength. An example here would be Coca-Cola with their red branding. But using multiple colours might be a good idea to stand out from the crowd. The thing is, it needs to be used in a well thought out manner, which often goes wrong for novice or beginner designers. An example here would be the Craft rebrand. There is a lot wrong with this logo, but the overuse of colour is one of those things. Now, colour can be used to stand out from the crowd in the right way, but again it needs to be thought out and planned. If we take a look at social media, you will notice that many logos or apps do use the colour of blue. So we have LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Behance, Tumblr and so on. But then we have some outliers, and one of those is Snapchat. Snapchat decided to go for yellow as their main branding colour, which for sure makes them stand out of the crowd. Imagine if Snapchat used blue on their logo. It probably would become somewhat lost in the sea of social media branding. So something else you need to keep in mind when choosing colours for your logos is to understand where in the world your client is based and also where the target market calls home. Now, why is that important? Well, because different cultures will sometimes have different reactions to the same colour. White in the West can resemble pure and a clean design, whereas in parts of Asia it can represent death. So again, this comes down to research and just data gathering. Now remember, if you do want to see more videos about logo design, just click a video on screen. And until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.